I can get into this. It's 30 minutes long. I don't know if I'm going to listen to a ramble for 30 minutes on this. Unless he stays interesting, which could happen. I don't know. I'm getting sent a lot of Asmongold videos lately. Has he been worse than usual lately, or what? I'm not choosing this. Is he algorithming right now? Is something? Has he been particularly? Yeah, he keeps putting up politics videos. I guess this is only 13 hours old, so yeah. So he's just been worse. Okay, I don't usually cover him, but it's been like 3 or 4 videos have been sent to me recently. All right, this one's called U.S. Wealth Inequality. I screened like the first 30 seconds, just see what it was about. See if I wanted to click on a 30-minute video. And I'm clicking on it. He's still fucking with his gums in this already?
Oh.
No.
This is like bad, snake. Right? Like it's like really bad.
The U.S. is a pretty...
Well, wealth inequality is bad. So wealth... Do we have to talk about why wealth inequality is bad? We'll see. We'll see what his problem is.
Pretty rich country as far as countries go. While some people are apparently doing fine, most people I know seem pretty worried about money. 6 out of 10 people say they don't even have enough saved to cover a
$500 saved? That's most people don't even have $500 saved?
Yeah, man.
Well, I'm sure this will end well.
$1 emergency. So
we need to have a new civil war so we can kill half the people in the country, and then we can redistribute the wealth among the people that are still alive.
So it sounds like he's like making a straw man of what he thinks like leftists want or something, like redistribute wealth or something. Or he's just trying to have a gripe. I don't even know. I'm trying to adjust my seat while we watch this.
Because like this just can't keep going on. We got to have like a civil war, another COVID thing like this. Yeah, we got to figure something else about this. Yeah, no, I'm thinking maybe civil war, right? I mean, what do y'all think? A plague? It'll come soon. Yeah, it's got to be something, right?
So he's on some pandemic shit or whatever? Is this what it is? Yeah, I guess he's just on pandemic stuff. I don't even know.
Is all this money? Is there a chart?
What's he lampshading?
You've probably seen one like this that shows
his chat seems in on it. Like, yeah, it's got to be something. So it's got to be like the liberals are cooking something up.
Distribution of wealth in the U.S. If not, load up on antidepressants and watch this video from a while back. I made my own version of this chart with data from the 2019 Survey of Consumer Finances. It shows the population...
Oh, it's only 2019? That's probably twice as bad now.
...of the United States broken into 100 groups sorted by net worth. Each of these groups is 1% of the population, or about 3.3 million people. Over here is their net worth.
So does he believe that this is true, but the mechanism for causing it is like COVID or whatever? Like, what's going on?
It's a bit of a tricky number, but it's big.
My favorite part about this is how the poorest people have negative money. Like, it actually goes into the negatives.
I don't know what the year is on this, but there have definitely been periods of time when like the poorest groups had just debt, man. Like debt can exist. Like people that just straight up owe fucking tons of money.
Basically, how much you would have after you sold everything you own, like stocks, houses, and cars, and used it to pay back what you owe to banks, credit cards, and everyone else. Oh. So yeah, this is the chart that shows that most of the nation's wealth is held by only 1% of the population, while the other 99% clip coupons. And
see, it's like you think about the top 1%. We're back. Sorry about. I don't know what that was. It's because I said civil war. Yeah, something like that, right? Let me go back.
Great video.
We keep it up. Sorry about that, guys.
Population, while the other 99% clip coupons and try to make...
I understand debt on the bingo card. Yeah.
Money on eBay. This is why you hear people talking about the 1% and the 99%. My problem with this chart isn't that it inspires outrage and denialism.
He's not saying anything, so I'm not saying anything. Okay, I gotta speed him up. I just have to speed him up, I guess, so that maybe he'll say something.
6 cents that
he's just going up.
The cruel jester laughing as we toil fruitlessly.
This is a video.
The power of an exploitative.
I like sometimes try to make sure that I'm saying something every once in a while, just so I'm not just stealing someone's content. But Asmongold doesn't seem to give a fuck. I don't know why I should. Like the people I cover don't deserve my deference, you know. This is stupid shit.
Ruling class that seems hell-bent on leading us down the path of endless conflict.
It's just this other guy's video right now.
My problem is that the number used to represent the 99th percent is a median net worth, which means half the people in here have more money than this number, and the other half have less money. For every other group, you can tell when the number maxes out, because if it gets
What is this video? It's been 2.5 minutes of barely anything.
High, it gets sorted into the next group up. This last 1%, though, we don't really know the highest net worth because there is no next group up. You might have heard people say it's actually not the 1% who hold up the wealth, it's more like 0.01%. So let's do some advanced data research to see if we can add some detail to this last column.
Okay. Sorry, it's looking at like all the like billionaires.
Let's take a look at our new chart to see where all this American abundance is hiding.
1.66 million Americans share 3% of the wealth. Feels good, man.
Well, it sure isn't here in the lowest 50%. That's only 3% of the wealth. This section represents 166 million people, with net worth ranging from $100,000 in debt up to a fairly comfortable lifestyle of $121,000. These feel like most of the people I come across. When we zoom out to 90% of the population, you start to spot a few millionaires. This slope here feels like what you might expect from a free market economy where amassing money becomes exponentially easier when you have more of it to invest. Maybe some of these people are greedy.
While it's easier to make money when you have money. Everybody knows that.
Go. Right. That's pernicious, by the way. That's deeply pernicious aspect of capitalism, that it takes money to even like accrue wealth. And that's totally true, right? Because there's some mechanisms of wealth generation that only are accessible to you. Like, I mean, even from my standard, like, I have to be able to have a camera and a computer. And now, obviously, it's taken a long time to build up the command center or whatever the fuck, my desk. But I mean, it's still not feasible for just someone to just start from scratch and do this job, right? It takes a lot of startup. And although it's getting cheaper and cheaper, and you see a lot more people doing it. Well, that adjustment shows it's even worse. Yeah, it's just terrible.
People are down on their luck, or being lazy, waiting for government handouts, or maybe they just don't have that can-do spirit or a winner's mindset. But who cares? We're still only seeing 32% of the nation's wealth. When you add in the next 9%, the slope gets even more drastic.
Damn.
Is anybody here not in the blue? Tier 3 subscribe immediately if you out yourself as a rich person. If you already have given me lots of Tier 3 subscriptions, then don't worry about it. You don't even have to out yourself. I've never been out of the blue in my life. That's crazy. I can't even imagine what fucking $100,000 would feel like in your bank account or whatever. That's crazy. I would puke and shit. I don't know. That's like, that almost gives me more anxiety than having fucking single digits. Not more really, but a different kind for sure. But it's stressful.
Try to fit people with up to 11.
Pretty far on the left, both politically and on this graph. Wampa, I like you.
$1 million onto this axis. This curve is still what you might expect from an economy that has wealth being passed down through generations and accumulating in the same hands over time, with maybe a history of policies that restrict poor and or non-white people from acquiring property. But this is only 69% of the wealth. Let's include everyone except the richest 0.1% of the population. Well, now this is just...
The 0.1% of the population? Oh my fucking God. 87% of the U.S. wealth is 99%. That's crazy. I mean, it was true, but that's fucking crazy. There's no reason for individuals to have this kind of wealth. None. They don't do it. They don't earn this wealth. They've simply sat atop it because their families had the wealth before them. This is all true.
Kind of screwing everything up.
Damn.
The scale has to reach up to $51 million, which means 98% of the people don't even make it to the first line on the grid.
I would expect that.
If we're being accurate, these people shouldn't even be visible at this scale.
Yeah,
sure
probably
if this
not.
Is a glitch, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this 1 pixel line here just to remind people we exist. So here we've got 99.9% of the population, but the chart is still short by 13%. Normally I'd let that slide, but it's more than quadruple the amount held by half the country. Up till now we've been using the same old medians in the lower brackets, but now that we've got...
He's really not adding anything to the conversation. I agree. He has re-uploaded this. This is like freebooting, man. Asmongold freeboots this guy's so far good video. I don't even know who he's watching. He didn't even say. That'd be wonderful. Does it have a link to the original video? Wealth inequality charts? You gotta go down here. Thanks, Asmongold's editor. Asmongold should really do this though. He should just say it.
The U.S. is a pretty rich...
Commingle. Has under 800 subscribers.
Fantastic day.
You do anything else? And Felicia,
okay,
thanks for that.
We've got 90 seconds.
You still do stuff? Can we hand her universal basic income? I will never leave. It's been 4 months, but thank you.
For the 99th percentile. Let's see what happens when we
Super whales? Isn't it crazy how gacha games function the exact same way as wealth inequality in the U.S.? That's crazy.
What?
At this all-encompassing scale,
what are the odds?
visible slope symbolizing the steep but climbable path from rags to riches is now gone, replaced by a...
I don't understand. He's being indignant, but I don't know in what regard. He just sort of has I'm above this or whatever. This white ass screen is making me white ass.
Meaningless void. Is our chart so broken that it's showing nothing of interest, or is it actually telling the whole story of American affluence? And it's so bleak that it's better to just ignore it. If we're searching for the last 13% of American wealth, it must be somewhere in this line.
Yeah.
It's just as empty and meaningless
Jesus.
as before, even for the top.
Look at this is
1%.
99.94, 99.95.
Even register on the scale.
Holy
Since
shit.
the scale is now in billions of dollars, let's take a look at the billionaires. Now we're only looking at 720 people. This
Oh my
isn't the
God.
1% or the 0.01%. This is 0.2%, holding more wealth than half the country combined.
Oh
One nice thing,
I
though, is that
think I suffer from whiteness.
He's talking about the types of game that take advantage of young kids with the gambling mechanics. I don't know. He hasn't said anything of substance. He's got gnarly chompers, though. All right, I would love an opinion or something to happen. This is a good video, though.
can fit everyone on my chart. Did you know one person represents 0.3% of the population? We can even see who they are.
Wow.
What's weird to me is that the wealth disparity just keeps going. How do we explain it now? Are these people more industrious than these people down here? Is George Soros a victim of his own conspiracy to keep himself down? Is Oprah just being lazy and waiting for government handouts? Is LeBron James lacking that winning mindset? Maybe life isn't exactly unfair to the billionaire class, but this 4% of wealth is not distributed evenly. Half of it is in the hands of the top 100, and half of that is in the hands of the top 10. Only here do you start to see anything resembling a plateau. Is $100 billion the amount at which you can finally be rich enough? Or is it that there's no more wealth to be drained from the population because their capacity to build crap and buy other crap is maxed out? This chart isn't just about...
Exactly. We're just making stuff to make it. It's so wasteful. They're all like, oh my god, it brings us affluence. It's like... it brings us waste. We don't need the stuff. You're forcing people to survive by making stuff, so we make stuff, right? We don't have to. We don't have to do this. It's so fucking dumb.
About finance and economics. Money is power, influence, and freedom. Maybe I'm missing something, but this doesn't feel like the chart of a democracy where everyone has open access to opportunity. On the other hand, I'm starting to wonder if this situation...
I actually don't think this is a problem. I think what the problem is the fact that the people that are at the bottom of the chart can't live a normal life. And I think that they would even agree with that. I think that if the people at the bottom of the chart didn't have to worry about, like, being able to pay for healthcare, they wouldn't really care about the fact that Elon Musk has, like, $100 billion.
It would be a lot more than healthcare. It would be like survival necessities, like we say all the time. But even then, it would be unethical for him to steal the labor of the people. So, yeah, I mean, I don't care as long as they're not stealing wealth the way they are. Like, you just can't... there's no one that needs that amount of personal wealth. And if you can conceive of a way to accrue that kind of wealth in an ethical fashion... cool, but that's not what's happening with billionaires. So I'd say the most ethical billionaires that will exist or do exist are like the sports guys, and not the ones that, not the owners, the athletes that are going to be billionaires as they move forward. Guys that are getting drafted right now in the NBA, if they sign 3 like max extensions in the NBA, they'll have made $1 billion in the NBA. It's crazy. Most people in the middle of the chart can live a normal life. Can't live a normal life. Yeah, exactly. But it's like so far beyond that, because it's like it sits with billionaire greed. He's like, well, people would be fine if they had all the stuff they need. And it's like, yeah, but the billionaires are the reason that's not the case. So
it wouldn't really matter because they're not thinking about him because they're content and they have their needs met. So it's like I think that it's getting pushed so far because like I don't think it's really a bad thing that people can make a lot of money. But the real problem isn't that people can make a lot of money. It's that other people don't have any money.
It's about more than people being too needy or...
it's about needing money for survival at all.
Too greedy, or too much government, or not enough government. Who's got a red hat? Who's got a blue hat? There are obviously things we're doing that make the curve steeper than it needs to be, and things we could be doing to make it less severe. But this kind of...
somebody says, why do you need more than $10 billion? People don't have $10 billion. This is a misconception from people that are like kind of financially illiterate. They don't have $10 billion. It's not like there's a bank account with like there's a bank with a vault that has $10 billion.
They own shares in companies and shit like that and assets, and they're valued at billions of dollars. So they actually, I mean, like Jeff Bezos has $1 billion in his fucking bank account. You know what I mean? Like he could spend $1 billion today easily. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, he does. He functionally has that currency. Just because it's not physically trading hands, because it's a conceptual, like money is digital, right? I don't understand the problem.
Of like $20 bills in it. This is all theoretical stock value that's attached to a company.
Which is why capitalism's fucking stupid. It's not all that, though. Like, it does liquidate. They actually have access to these things because they get goods and services in return for it. It functions as if they're exchanging money, even if it doesn't move around or whatever, in the same way that you or I would spend money. It's not different.
The money is theoretical.
All money is theoretical. All of it. You could hold a dollar bill in your hand, and that's literally a theoretical piece of money. Someone has to agree that that's worth $1.
Continuously recurring pattern is starting to feel familiar. This has the markings of something even harder to understand than human behavior. It kind of looks like math. My old friend from high school who keeps showing up at every party I go to, not because he's invited, but because it turns out he's the one throwing it. We'll dive into that next time. In the meantime, go check out what we're doing at Commingle. You might find it interesting.
Yeah, I think the real problem isn't the fact that you have really rich people, it's that you have really poor people. Because like if people didn't have that problem, they wouldn't be like malding out and like getting mad at the
malding?
At the rich people.
Malding at the rich people? What is this? Look, these guys have to Scrooge McDuck money bank complete with a diving board for this to be an issue to these idiots. I know, right?
Because they would be busy just doing their own thing and not worrying about it or anything like that. This is a small channel. Make sure to give it a like. Yeah, there it is. We're successful. We're debt free. We don't.
Please, can you say that fucking at the beginning of the stuff, please?
On everything.
And then say stuff throughout it. Like you just, I don't know.
Oh, the Arizona tea. Why rich people don't help poor people? Well, I think that rich people oftentimes do help poor people, right?
Fucking how? By hiring them?
Because like if you're rich, let's say, you're probably providing jobs to those people, and you probably do help some people. And also, it's not their job to do that. You can't expect anybody to go out of their way to do anything for anybody other than themselves. If you rely on people's individual charity, you're totally making a mistake, and you'll never have those people do anything for that. I expect a lot. Yeah, you shouldn't. Like most people are selfish, and also like,
is this his like you can't have healthcare thing or whatever?
People that are in the middle probably aren't doing a lot of things for the people that are at the bottom either. Most people aren't going to be doing anything because they only care about themselves and their own lives. That's just the way the world is.
Which is why trickle-down economics is fucking dumb. Like, relying on rich people to do anything is stupid.
Go.
Reagan-brained real Reagan worms? Well, I hope he's not.
So if plenty of rich people help, it's the most that have most money, have invested in assets. Yeah, a lot of wealth is not like dollar bills. It's like assets and, you know, like stocks and stuff like that. So a lot of people get that wrong, but in general, I think it's a very big misconception. I went from foster care to Yale. This is why I learned about my luxury beliefs. So I can think of a lot of luxury beliefs.
I don't think I want to watch any more Asmongold. He didn't say much there, but oh, what a cute little doggy. To pretend that rich people help assuage the perils of capitalism while perpetuating them is crazy. Capitalists have such a cucked fucking behavior. It's I don't know why they can't entertain the idea that money is bad. Like how we use money is bad. If you want to like use it to trade non-essentials, cool, but like I just don't understand. Like I think everybody who's engaged with money realizes, oh, this corrupts a lot of stuff. I don't know why people would want to adhere themselves to a certain title. Like they're like, I'm a capitalist. I think part of it though is that like it's part sunken cost fallacy because you know you commit yourself to a grind set or whatever for years. It's pretty hard to like admit to yourself if you're a full-on fucking capitalist boy, oh, actually I was wrong. You know what I mean? Like I wasted my time. This feels bad. I'm not happy, you know. It's easier to imagine the end of the world than the end of capitalism. That's fucking true. It like takes that to end capitalism. Like the whole thing is just we don't think consumers need to be charged at the point of service for certain things. You can just have society take care of that on the front end or the back end, I guess. And you know, we don't need people to worry about their bank accounts when it comes to fucking like, do I get cancer or whatever? Like, what a fucking crapshoot. It's not right. It's not ethical. It doesn't make any sense for like a functioning country. Like just from a pragmatic, even purely capitalist sense, you want your workforce to be like well off and cared for, like medically. You want them to be educated. Like if you're just talking about, I want to build American stuff and export it to countries for cash, like, but instead what they want to do is maximize profits without maximizing quality. It's just about maximizing profits, and so minimizing labor costs. And maximizing their own things. Dude, my friend, my buddy Joel, dude, he's a chef. He just found out that the like boss's kids make money on the fucking business, and they make like $25,000 a month. Meanwhile, this guy is struggling to find management to give him, or the ownership to allow him to hire like another chef to get like stuff repaired, like the fucking AC that keeps breaking. $25,000, that's $300,000 a year. $300,000 a year. If they got rid of one of those salaries, we were talking about this earlier. If they got rid of one of those salaries, he could pay for everything he could possibly need for like 2 or 3 fucking years, including salary for at least 1 or 2 more people and all the repairs they need, and like any other problems they could have. $300K budget? That's crazy. That's some fucking nepotism, dude. I was feeling extra petty. Maybe some Minecraft arson. Just tired, man. This is what I'm talking about. There's just like no reason. There's no reason for people not to share in the profits of the companies that they fucking work for, other than greed. It's obviously tenable. There's one person who doesn't work as hard, or a collection of people who don't work as hard, that make way more money. It's crazy. Most people don't want to make a huge amount of money, just don't want to struggle. I agree. I agree with you. I was just saying, I don't know what the fuck I would do with $100,000 in my bank account or whatever, my savings. $100K? That's fucking crazy, dude. Never been able to save that. I have a little bit of saved up money just in case anything happens. Fuck.